Hi, this is Karridi with Art by Karridi. Today I'm going to do a simple little Thanksgiving pumpkin rock. I'm going to start off with a green background on this one. I've got my rock that's already primed on the front. And I'm going to take kind of a dark green here. And I'm just going to paint the base of my rock green. Take a little bit of white paint, mix it in with the green for the top, and kind of blend my way down. I've got plenty of green on my brush, so just picking up a little bit of white paint, I can get some of those middle tones of the green that I want. And then when I get down to the bottom, that solid green color is still wet and it'll blend right up into the white that I used. If I want to make that more dramatic, I could pull some of it up and then go back and forth across to kind of smooth it out and blend it up. There we go. Let that dry. I had done a brown base earlier. This one is dry now. Made a template of a little pumpkin. I've got that down in the comments if you would like to use it. I'm going to put that on the darker part of the rock here, and I'm just going to trace around it. If you want to draw your own pumpkin, you can freehand it. Pumpkins are kind of like you make kind of a jelly bean shape, or like a heart with a rounded off bottom and then put a stem on it. That's pretty easy to do. All right, I'm going to get a small flat brush. This one almost looks like it's pointed, but it's a flat brush, and I'm going to get a really light orange for my base color. I always like to paint the base color first, especially if I'm working on a darker background. I'll do the base color of my image first, and then I'll go back in once that's dry and do my my shading. I'm not sure that brown was the best color for this pumpkin one. It's not going to give me a whole lot of contrast, so it's not going to show up as well as it would on blue or green. I'm probably gonna, in this one, since it's got that brown background, I'm probably just gonna do a green stem. Usually I would do a brown stem on a pumpkin. Oops. I'm just gonna use some of that green that I used from the background on the other one. Just gonna paint in my little stem. So once that's dry, oops, I'm gonna get some detail in here. So on my outside edges, I'm gonna use a darker orange. And I'm going to make kind of, I'm going to make my different sections of this pumpkin different shades of orange intentionally. I'm not going to do a lot of shading. I'm just going to make solid but different colored sections on this orange or pumpkin. So I'm going to make a lighter orange, just mixing some white in with my orange paint. And I'm looking more, when I'm painting this, I'm looking more at what the middle shape is that I'll be leaving. I want kind of an oval shape in the middle there. Now, I do have the template that you can print off, and it is drawn with these sections on there, so you can always cut them out and use that to trace them if you would like. If you're not comfortable with drawing or painting them on freehand. And I'm going to go back to that darker color. For the middle section. Alright, so once this is dry, I'm going to be adding in some fun little details. Now I'm going to switch to a little round brush. So just a fine round brush. I just use the cheap craft brushes that I could get at Walmart and or Amazon, different places like that. When I say cheap, I mean in, like, you know, maybe the $5 to $10 range for a package. And I tend to go for the soft bristles. Okay, on this middle section, I'm just going to put some polka dots in. You have a dotting tool, and you could use that for this. Or just a fine paintbrush works fine. You could use a toothpick. For this next section, I think I'm gonna change my color up a little bit, take some of my orange, and I'm gonna add some yellow to it. Just make it a different shade of orange. And I'm gonna put some, actually, it's about the same color. I'm just gonna put some diamond shapes over here. Take one off the edge there. In this next section, I'm going to do kind of an X shape with yellow. And then I'm going to, it's like a cross with a cross. So kind of a plus sign, and then you angle it just a little bit and do another plus sign through the middle. So I'm getting kind of 6 little lines coming out from the middle. Just a little starburst kind of shape. Alright. In this next section, I think I'm going to do some red polka dot. The difference between a dotting tool and a paintbrush. Your paintbrush, it allows you to not dip it back into the paint as often. I was playing around with the dotting tool yesterday and realized you have to dip it in between every dot if you want a consistent size. Right. So I'm going to make a really dark orange. Or a really red orange. Just going to add some red to the orange color I already have. I'm going to do some stripes out here in this last section. Right, now I'm going to come back to my diamond shapes and I'm going to put a little yellow dot in the middle of each diamond. And then with my starburst shape, I'm going to put a little brown polka dot in the middle. Kind of reminds me of like a little sunflower. Alright, now I'm going to go back with some green. And I'm going to play around with my stem here. To have a two-tone stem, do some more kind of a dramatic shading instead of a blended shading. So I'm just going to get a lighter color in here. Do a little bit of blending, not too much. And do a highlight on this side. Sometimes it's fun to have a more dramatic shading instead of always doing a real smooth blended shading. And then just for some fun, I add some little vines coming out. And do like a little curly cue. Now this part, if you're not real comfortable using your paintbrush to do, you could use a paint pen with a fine tip. You could do a gel pen. You could do a marker depending on the color of your background and the color you want your vines. You're going to do some, make up a lighter green and do a few little vines coming out from below the pumpkin as well. Yeah, any of this detail work you could do with a paint pen or a gel pen. Just whatever your comfort level is. It's also a good place to practice with your paintbrush. And then if you want, you can emphasize those sections a little bit more using a paintbrush or a pen or a marker and just outlining them. Looking for a real fine tip brush here. Sometimes a flat brush will work really well for for outlines as well. So I'm going to get kind of I think my reddish orange that I made up, and I'm going to use this flat brush. And so I want to make sure I don't get too much paint on there. And then I'm going to go along with the flat side kind of going the direction that my line is going. I'm just going to outline these little sections here, just to give it a little bit more definition. Now, if you want it to look a little more Thanksgiving, you can, add some words. Happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful. Give thanks. Or you could, focus on more Thanksgiving colors. I'm going to add a couple of highlights here in my vines just to give a little bit more character. The main thing with rock painting is to have fun with it, right? There we go. So I'll probably write something like give thanks on here. Thank you for watching this tutorial by Art by Karridi. Please like, share, and subscribe to see new tutorials each week.